Good evening and welcome. We've got a lot to cover tonight, from simmering conflicts to a pivotal election year both here and around the world. We're going to break it all down for you, connect the dots, and try to make sense of it all. We begin tonight in the Middle East, where tensions between Iran and Israel continue to escalate. Then we'll go to Ukraine, where the war with Russia grinds on. We'll also take a look at some of the key global elections happening this year, from India to Mexico. Plus, the race for the White House is heating up. We'll dive into the latest on the 2024 presidential election and what it means for the country. And we'll examine the increasingly urgent threat of climate change, as well as the rise of artificial intelligence. All of that and more, right here, right now. Let's get started. We begin in the Middle East, a region rarely far from the headlines, and tonight is no exception. The situation between Iran and Israel continues to deteriorate, with both sides locked in what can only be described as a shadow war. We're talking about cyber attacks targeting critical infrastructure, mysterious explosions at key facilities, and of course, the ever-present threat of drone strikes. Neither side officially claims responsibility, but the fingerprints are there for all to see. Adding fuel to this already volatile fire are the actions of the Houthi rebels in Yemen. Backed by Iran, the Houthis have been increasingly active in the Red Sea, disrupting shipping lanes vital to global trade. Just last week, a cargo ship came under fire, a stark reminder of the fragility of peace in the region. Meanwhile, hopes for a breakthrough in the stalled normalization talks between Saudi Arabia and Israel have all but evaporated. The Saudis, once seen as a potential partner for Israel against Iran, seem to be hedging their bets. The Biden administration has been pushing for a deal, but so far, those efforts have yielded little progress. This leaves the region teetering on a knife's edge, with the potential for miscalculation or escalation higher than ever. The stakes couldn't be higher. The war in Ukraine grinds on, and there is no end in sight. The spring offensive that many hoped would turn the tide of the war has stalled, with both sides locked in a brutal war of attrition. Russia has made incremental gains in recent weeks, particularly around the besieged city of Avdiivka, which has been reduced to rubble after months of relentless shelling. The human cost of this conflict is almost too much to bear. Ukraine, however, is facing its own set of challenges. Ammunition shortages have plagued their forces, forcing them to ration artillery fire. The Biden administration has pledged billions in military aid, but even with the full weight of NATO behind them, Ukraine is outgunned and outmanned. There are growing concerns that Western support, while steadfast, may not be enough to prevent a Russian victory in the long run. Adding another layer of complexity to this conflict is the emergence of artificial intelligence on the battlefield. Drones, both large and small, have become ubiquitous, but now they are increasingly being equipped with AI capabilities, allowing them to identify and engage targets with minimal human intervention. This raises a whole host of ethical and strategic questions. This year is a pivotal one for democracies around the world, with several major elections set to take place. From the streets of New Delhi to the halls of power in Mexico City, voters will be heading to the polls to decide the future of their countries. In India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is seeking an unprecedented third term in office. Modi, a Hindu nationalist, has maintained a tight grip on power, but he is facing growing criticism over his handling of the economy and accusations of authoritarianism. The opposition, while fragmented, is hoping to capitalize on these vulnerabilities and unseat Modi's BJP party. Meanwhile, south of the US border, Mexico is poised to elect its first female president. Claudia Sheinbaum, the former mayor of Mexico City and a close ally of current President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, is the clear frontrunner in the race. If elected, she will inherit a country grappling with violence, corruption, and a deeply entrenched drug trade. And in South Africa, the African National Congress, the party of Nelson Mandela, is facing its toughest challenge since the end of apartheid. The ANC has been in power for nearly 3 decades, but it has been plagued by scandals and accusations of corruption. This election could see the party lose its parliamentary majority for the first time, a seismic shift in the political landscape of South Africa. Chapter 4: The AI Arms Race, the Battle for Technological Supremacy. The race to dominate the field of artificial intelligence is heating up, with nations and corporations vying for control of this transformative technology. China in particular has been pouring resources into AI research and development, with the goal of becoming the global leader in this space by 2030. One of the most visible signs of China's AI ambitions is the emergence of Kimi AI, a homegrown chatbot that has taken the country by storm. Developed by tech giant Baidu, Kimi AI has already amassed over 9 million users, drawn to its ability to generate human-quality text, translate languages, and even write different kinds of creative content. While China pushes ahead, the United States is grappling with how to regulate this rapidly evolving technology. The European Union has taken a more aggressive approach, with proposed regulations that would place strict limits on the use of AI in sensitive areas such as facial recognition and predictive policing. In the US, however, the regulatory landscape remains largely undefined, leading to concerns that the country is falling behind in the global AI race. Elon Musk, never one to shy away from a challenge, has thrown his hat into the ring with xAI, his latest venture aimed at building what he calls safe and beneficial artificial intelligence. Musk has reportedly sought $3 billion in funding to fuel xAI's ambitions, setting the stage for a showdown with OpenAI, the creator of ChatGPT. Chapter 5: A Planet in Peril. Climate Crisis and the Search for Solutions. From the scorching heat waves sweeping across Europe to the devastating floods in Asia, the impacts of climate change are becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. The question now is whether the world's nations are doing enough to avert a full-blown climate catastrophe. The recent COP28 climate summit in Dubai ended with a mixture of hope and disappointment. While some progress was made on issues like climate finance, many observers felt that the agreement fell short of what is needed to keep global warming below the critical threshold of 1.5 degrees Celsius. The clock is ticking, and the stakes have never been higher. There is, however, a glimmer of hope amidst the dire warnings. The International Energy Agency, or IEA, recently reported that solar power is now the cheapest source of electricity in history, cheaper even than coal and natural gas in many parts of the world. This is a game changer, potentially accelerating the transition to a cleaner, more sustainable energy future. In the Amazon rainforest, often referred to as the lungs of the planet, there has been a notable decline in deforestation rates since Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva returned to power in Brazil. Lula has pledged to reverse the environmental destruction that occurred under his predecessor, Jair Bolsonaro, but the rainforest remains under threat from illegal logging, mining, and agricultural expansion. Chapter 6, 2024. America Decides, a Nation on Edge. Here in the United States, the 2024 presidential election is already shaping up to be one of the most consequential in our nation's history. The battle lines are drawn, the stakes are incredibly high, and the outcome is far from certain. As expected, former President Donald Trump is seeking a rematch against President Joe Biden. Trump, fueled by his base of loyal supporters and a deep-seated sense of grievance, has vowed to overturn the results of the 2020 election, which he continues to falsely claim was stolen from him. President Biden, meanwhile, is facing his own set of challenges. His approval ratings remain stubbornly low, weighed down by inflation, concerns about his age and mental acuity, and a general sense of malaise among the electorate. Despite these headwinds, Biden remains determined to seek a second term, arguing that he is the best equipped to lead the country through a time of profound uncertainty. Adding another layer of complexity to this already volatile race is the independent candidacy of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Kennedy, a scion of the famed political dynasty, has tapped into a vein of discontent on both the left and the right, drawing support from those who are disillusioned with the two major parties. The American legal system is facing its own set of challenges, from a series of high-profile trials to a Supreme Court that has become increasingly politicized. The outcome of these cases will have far-reaching implications for the country. Former President Trump is once again at the center of the legal maelstrom, facing multiple investigations and potential indictments. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office is reportedly close to indicting Trump in connection with hush money payments made to adult film star Stormy Daniels during the 2016 campaign. In Georgia, a separate grand jury is investigating whether Trump illegally interfered in the state's 2020 election. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has signaled that she is prepared to bring charges against Trump and his allies if the evidence warrants it. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court continues to reshape the legal landscape, often in ways that have profound consequences for everyday Americans. In a deeply divisive ruling, the court upheld the revival of Arizona's 1864 abortion ban, one of the most restrictive in the country. The ruling has further inflamed the debate over abortion rights, with protests erupting across the country. The American economy is sending mixed signals, with strong job growth and low unemployment, but also persistent inflation and a housing market that is increasingly out of reach for many Americans. The Federal Reserve, tasked with keeping inflation in check, has been raising interest rates aggressively in recent months, but so far those efforts have had little impact on prices. Inflation remains stubbornly high, eroding the purchasing power of American families and fueling a sense of economic anxiety. Adding to the economic woes is a worsening housing crisis. Mortgage rates have soared above 7%, pricing many potential home buyers out of the market. Rents are also skyrocketing, leaving many families struggling to make ends meet. The Biden administration has touted the recent decline in gas prices as a sign that the economy is moving in the right direction, but many Americans remain unconvinced. They are feeling the pinch of inflation every day at the grocery store, at the gas pump, and when they pay their rent or mortgage. The tech industry, once hailed as an engine of innovation and economic growth, is facing a growing backlash over its role in spreading misinformation, amplifying hate speech, and undermining democracy. The Biden administration has taken aim at TikTok, the popular short-form video app owned by Chinese company ByteDance. Citing national security concerns, the White House has given ByteDance 9 months to sell TikTok to an American company, or face a nationwide ban. Elon Musk, never one to shy away from the spotlight, has also been making waves in the tech world. Since taking over Twitter, now rebranded as X, Musk has vowed to crack down on bots and spam accounts, which he claims are distorting public discourse and interfering with elections. Meanwhile, the rise of artificial intelligence is raising a whole new set of challenges, particularly when it comes to the spread of misinformation. Deepfakes, AI-generated videos that can make people appear to say or do things they never actually said or did, are becoming increasingly sophisticated and difficult to detect. From coast to coast, the United States is being battered by extreme weather events, a stark reminder of the growing threat of climate change. While scientists caution against attributing any single event solely to climate change, the increasing frequency and intensity of these events are consistent with their projections. In Texas, a state more accustomed to drought than deluge, unprecedented rainfall has triggered the largest wildfires in the state's history. Thousands of acres have been scorched, homes have been destroyed, and lives have been lost. The fires are a stark reminder of the growing risk of wildfires in a warming world. Meanwhile, in California, the big melt is underway. A record-breaking snowpack, the result of an unusually wet winter, is now melting rapidly, sending torrents of water into rivers and reservoirs. While this influx of water is welcome in a state grappling with a chronic drought, it also brings the risk of flooding, particularly in communities located downstream from major dams. And in the Midwest, a series of powerful tornadoes has ripped through several states, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Iowa and Ohio have been particularly hard hit, with homes and businesses reduced to rubble and lives lost. The tornadoes are a reminder that extreme weather can strike anywhere at any time. That's all the time we have tonight. We've covered a lot of ground, from the global stage to right here at home. It's a complex world out there, full of challenges and uncertainties, but it's also a world full of hope, resilience, and the promise of a better tomorrow. It's up to all of us to stay informed, stay engaged, and to demand better from our leaders. The future is not something that just happens to us. It's something we create together. Thank you for joining us tonight. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and take care.